Developments at this hour in the war between Israel and Hamas. Israel airstrikes on Gaza continued today. The death toll there is rising. Authorities in Hamas-controlled Gaza say Israeli strikes have killed almost 3,800 people. On the other side, Israeli authorities say Hamas's attack has killed 1,400.
Meantime, President Biden is preparing a rare primetime address tonight from the Oval Office to explain the U.S. response to the conflict. CBS 2's Joe Donald is keeping an eye on what's happening in the Middle East. He joins us now.
Jim and Marie, we did get some new information today. We learned from the State Department that 32 American citizens have died in Israel and 11 remain unaccounted for. Meantime, there are signs the war is on the verge of intensifying. Israel's defense minister told troops gathered at the Gaza border they will soon see Hamas territory from the inside, signaling a ground invasion could come soon. The Israeli military has updated the number of hostages being held by Hamas to more than 200. Devastated family members are calling for their immediate release.
Stop now and release all children, babies, elderly, women that are not part of this war.
Prime Minister.
A day after President Biden's visit, Britain's Prime Minister arrived in Israel to show his support.
I'm proud to stand here with you in Israel's darkest hour. As your friend, we will stand with you in solidarity.
He also mourned innocent Palestinian civilians caught in the crossfire of Israel's blistering airstrikes on Hamas in retaliation for its brutal October 7th terrorist attacks. This resident showed us debris from a rocket intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome defense system. He says it's up to Hamas to end this war.
When we put down our weapons, they attack us. If they put down their weapons, there will be peace.
Israel had originally said it would allow no aid into Gaza until Hamas releases the hostages. But with more than 1 million Palestinians displaced from their homes, the first delivery of food, water, and medicine could begin arriving on Friday. So more about those aid shipments. UN observers will be stationed at the Rafah crossing, that's between Egypt and Gaza, to oversee this aid and to ensure it would be given to civilians and not used by Palestinian militants. But as you can imagine, that is a very dicey and tricky and complicated situation. We mentioned this possibly intensifying. That's when we're talking about when and if Israel decides to undertake this ground invasion. That's when things get even worse, potentially.
Right. It'll be interesting to see what the president has to say about this tonight.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Well, joining us now live from Tel Aviv is CBS News correspondent Tina Kraus. Tina, thank you for being with us again. We've been talking about this ground invasion of Gaza, saying it could happen at any time. Is that in line with what you're hearing on the ground?
Absolutely, Jim and Marie. We've got tanks from Israel parked near the border with Gaza, just waiting for that order to roll. And there are some new signs tonight that order could come soon. Tens of thousands of Israel's reserve troops are just waiting for the order, waiting for the green light so they can go in, take on Hamas, and bring their hostages home.
What is the latest on the hostages?
Well, we know that now there are more than 200 hostages that Hamas took inside Gaza. We know that some of those could be Americans, with 11 Americans still unaccounted for. 30 of the hostages are said to be children. So Israel, though, in a coastal enclave that's 25 miles long, which Gaza is, that's a huge place. And Hamas operates these sophisticated systems of underground tunnels, and it's thought that perhaps the hostages may be in those tunnels. Now, if that's the case, it's going to take some time and a bit of luck to get them out safely.
Sure. What a system. Wow. Okay. Tina Kraus reporting live from Tel Aviv. Again, thank you for your time and stay safe. Right now, Palestinian rights demonstrators are holding a sit-in at the office of Representative Jan Schakowsky in Skokie. Among other things, they are demanding an end to the Israeli attacks in Gaza. It is not clear if Schakowsky is there. Again, President Biden will be speaking to the nation tonight about the United States' response to the Israel-Hamas war. We will be carrying his Oval Office address at 7 o'clock tonight, live on TV and streaming live on CBS News Chicago.